I'd like to thank the Chariot Duo and Gary Lynn Floyd, as well as our wonderful CSL music team, for the beautiful music that always supports the message. And today, we're concluding our wonderful 2023 spiritual journey with our series on life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, according to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse, as we explore finding home. Now, each week is independent, and now the entire series is available on our website. This is a particularly interesting topic for today because 11 years ago, I was in New Orleans planting the seeds for our community by having our first gathering as CSL Southeast Louisiana. And like the boy, I was a bit lost in finding my home. It took a while, but I eventually discovered that my heart was in Baton Rouge, and this is where the community belonged. So, as I speak today about the journey of the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse, I noticed a lot of what I have discovered about who we are as a community, what has meaning to us, and where CSL, Southeast Louisiana, fits as a spiritual home, with our true home in the divine. So, your question for the week is this: what is the one choice you might make today to know that home can be a physical place, a state of mind, or the embrace of loved ones? And to know that home is about finding the comfort and the authenticity that allow us to flourish and grow. One more time. What is the one choice you might make today to know home can be a physical place, a state of mind, or the embrace of loved ones? And to know home is about finding the comfort and authenticity that allow us to flourish and grow. There's a lot to be said for that expression, home is where the heart is.
I know what a home looks like.
Do you?
Yes, it has walls, a roof, a bell above the door, and cakes in every window.
I think that's a cake shop.
Oh, is that not a type of home?
You can't live in a cake shop.
Well, why ever not?
In my experience, in this ever evolving journey of life, there exists an innate longing within each of us to discover a place where our souls truly feel at home. And I guess for the mole, that would be a cake shop. And our profound yearnings transcend the physical realms of bricks and mortar. It delves into the ethereal landscapes of the heart and spirit. Today, we embark on an exploration of the spiritual dimensions while Reverend Catherine, Reverend Larry King, and myself share with you some profound insights about finding our sense of home, drawing inspiration from the journey of our four unlikely friends, the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse, as they navigate life's challenges and discover the true essence of home. You know, throughout history, philosophers and poets and mystics have explored this concept of home as not just a physical abode, but as a sanctuary for the spirit. It's a place where we can unravel the layers of our consciousness, where we can be our true selves without fear of judgment, and where we can commune with the power beyond ourself that infuses meaning into our life. The search for our true home indeed becomes an odyssey of self discovery, a pilgrimage, so to speak, of the soul. It seems that we live in a world that often measures success by material wealth or career achievements, social standards. And I often feel adrift in a sea of what I would call superficiality. Can you relate to that? Yet I deeply believe that eventually we each find ourselves compelled to seek a deeper connection, a place to where our innermost selves can resonate with authenticity and purpose. The boy was on his quest for home, and yet his journey took him beyond geographical coordinates and became a journey of the soul, guided by the compass of true friendship and love. Remember where he started out?
What do you dream about?
Home.
Oh, what's that like?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know I need one.
I believe we each need a home, and we embark on this voyage into the spiritual dimensions of home, eventually embracing the idea that our true home is not just a place, but it's a state of being, a resonance between the external and the internal, the seen and the unseen. As our characters in the book did, we uncover some profound insights that illuminate our path on this mystical journey towards our true home. Let's see what happens when the boy believes he has found his physical home.
There it is.
You found it! It looks like a home, doesn't it?
Well, here we are then.
Yes. Thank you. Goodbye.
Always remember, you're enough, just as you are.
I'm glad we're all here.
I'm so glad you're here too. Goodbye. I'm really going to miss you.
The boy discovered there was a profound connection between our inner landscapes and the physical spaces we inhabit. You can feel the love he has for each of his fellow journeyers as he attempts to leave them for his physical home. The adventures, conversations, and encounters of our four friends offer us valuable lessons about what it means to find our place in the world, that place where we feel at home. Let's see what happened next in the boy's quest.
No. Home isn't always a place. is it?
The truth is, the boy truly realized that home was where his heart was, with his friends. It wasn't a place. So, what do we learn from these four characters in our book? Let's review some of the things that we've seen over the past 14 weeks, with one of my favorite being this insight of the boy.
Isn't it odd? We can only see our outsides, but nearly everything happens on the inside.
So true, isn't it? How much of our lives are connected to the inside and what we think and believe. The boy also teaches us the importance of embracing vulnerability. He admits his fears and doubts openly to his friends, demonstrating that home is a place where we can be our true selves without pretenses or mask. And I believe finding our true home often starts with accepting our own imperfection and expressing them to our trusted friends. Here, the boy and the mole are talking, and the boy tells the mole, "Sometimes I feel lost." "Me too," said the mole, "but we love you, and love brings you home." The boy also confesses, "Sometimes I worry you'll all realize I'm ordinary." And the mole says, "Love doesn't need you to be extraordinary." The mole is a wise and genuine friend. The bond between the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse reminds us that home is not a physical location, but a feeling of belonging. Our true home is where we find genuine connections with others, where we can lean on each other in terms of need. And the mole certainly showed the boy how to do that in his own way, as the boy also helped the mole lean on him.
So much beauty we need to look after.
Yes, so much.
Oh!
Are you all right?
Oh, sorry. Yes, totally fine. No, just thought we should start looking for that river. Lemon drizzle. This is quite a hill.
Is this better?
Oh. Well, I don't want to be too much trouble.
It's okay.
Oh, well, thank you.
As for the mole being wise, do you remember this page? Here, the boy and the mole are talking, and the mole tells the boy, "I think everyone is just trying to get home." So very true, isn't it? As the boy and the mole interact with the fox, we see the fox find solace in the woods, highlighting that our true home might be found in the simplicity of nature. You might remember that when the fox was released from the snare, he went into the woods. Sometimes home is not a building, but it's the natural world that soothes our souls and provides us with a sense of peace and belonging. And remember, the fox had to be encouraged to join them when the horse began to fly.
Come and join us?
Oh, I think I'll stay here. Thank you.
Please?
And what about that flying horse? What insight does the horse have to offer us about our journey home? The horse reminds us that the search for home often involves a journey within ourselves. We must explore our hopes, dreams, and fears to uncover what truly makes us feel at home in our own skin. In addition to reminding us that we all need something to keep us going, remember this scene?
When the big things feel out of control, focus on what you love right under your nose.
Oh, I like that.
This storm will pass.
All our friends have a compassionate nature, which underscores the idea that creating a home is not just about finding it for ourselves, but also about extending kindness and warmth to others. Home becomes a haven when we fill it with love and compassion. So before I conclude, let's see what Reverend Larry and Reverend Catherine have to chime in about finding home, so we can reflect on their wisdom and insights into the spiritual significance of finding our place in the universe, in our home. Here's what Reverend Larry had to say.
Hi, everyone. Reverend Larry invited me back to wrap up our session this summer. We've been studying the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. And I think we've had a pretty good time. I know I have. And so she asked me to do a bit of a summary. You might think of it as what I got the most out of from this book. And I'll tell you, there are 3 main points. And those points are love, love, and love. So let me explain. You know, someone once said that it's money that makes the world go round, but I disagree. And I think this book proves that it's love. Sometimes it's money taking the form of love, that idea of the guarantor between people, that idea of the bond of responsibility. I will do this and you will pay me that. But really, these are in the nature of us as social animals needing to make exchanges. So it's still love, even if it's money, it's still love. But let me take it back to the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. So why do I think this book mostly is about love? Why is love all 3 of the main points for me? Well, let's look through the book real briefly. So why did the boy wish to find a home? That's how this book starts. And I got to tell you, the boy loved himself enough to know that it was possible. He loved himself enough to know that he deserved it, that a home was for him, that he would have a home. When we're without hope, when we're without any sense of self-importance or self-esteem, we wouldn't even think that was possible. So from the get-go, this whole idea of the hero's journey or the quest, it's because he loved himself enough. Now, why did the boy befriend the mole? Well, of course it's love. It's the basis of friendship, right? Having a friend is always a good thing. It's our nature to attract friends. It's one part of God connecting to another part of God. And that's God loving itself. It makes friendships feel so good. And why did the boy and the mole befriend the fox? Well, that's love too. They knew that even those that seem different or troubled or perhaps dangerous are still part of God. Loving difficult people is sometimes even more rewarding. And why did the horse become part of the group? Well, that's love too. The horse brings the idea of mentorship. He shows the others that they, well, and you and I, can fly. He encouraged them to lift their thoughts higher and their intentions higher still. The ones we love can provide that kind of inspiration to us. And so for me, the book, all the way through it, was a reminder that here we are in the midst of love. And so just to close today, I just want to say what a pleasure it's been to be with you all. All my love, Reverend Larry.
I am so grateful for Reverend Larry's fabulous summary about how love makes the world go round and how our friends demonstrated how we can fly higher and love more deeply. Now let's see what Reverend Catherine had to say.
Well, good morning, my friends. Here we are at the end of our series. And like many of you, I really liked this book when I first found it, but now I'm absolutely in love with it. How wonderful it has been to travel this road with all of you, to go deep into some of the spiritual principles that are the foundation of our philosophy and the foundation of living a good life. It's been an amazing journey, hasn't it? And we're each on our own road. At the same time, we're all headed to the same place. We're all headed home. You may remember the story that I told you on our first day together about the 3 religious men who met at the base of a mountain. They each had been told about the path to the top, and that at the top they would find God. They argued with each other that the road they had been told to take was the only way. And so ultimately they each went their separate way. But even though they all had challenges along the way, ultimately they all made it to the top at about the same time. And so it is with all of us. Our journeys are uniquely ours, and they're filled with twists and turns. Each of us travels our own road, but all the roads are good, and they all go to the same place. They all bring us home. And that's not the only thing that's similar about our individual paths. In Joseph Campbell's work, known as The Hero's Journey, we're told that we're all heroes, that every hero's journey follows the same process. That first, there's a sense of separation. And for the sake of understanding and simplicity, we're going to call that getting lost or forgetting. Then there's a initiation, which is a difficult time or a challenge or a struggle that we find ourselves in. And then there's a homecoming, a return to the truth. Now, that is simplifying it a bit because there are some steps in between, but the idea is that we each go through that process. Separation, an initiation, and then coming home. And we do it lots of times, over and over and over again. Sometimes it's in big monumental ways, and sometimes it's in the little inconveniences and challenges that we encounter in our everyday lives. Still, the process is the same, regardless of the size of the situation. And while most of us would be a little reluctant to call ourselves heroes, we're happy to apply the term to people like Superman or Batman or Wonder Dog or Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz or hobbits or Hogwarts attendees, even to regular people who do extraordinary things like firefighters and brain surgeons, inventors or nurses or teachers. We all know some of those heroes, right? Heroes change the world. They save lives. They take on tasks that may seem impossible to some of us. So when we think of heroes, we often don't think about ourselves. But as Joseph Campbell says, we're all heroes. He describes the hero as someone who's given his or her life to something bigger than themselves. And by that standard, because you're here, because you're part of this community, because you've made the decision to live a spiritual life and to be the presence of God, because of all of that, you've committed to being a positive influence in the world. And that means you are your own hero. So you see, we're all on a hero's journey. A Course in Miracles describes our life journey as a journey without distance. And it says that the ultimate goal isn't about getting there. It's about being here every step of the way. And the Buddhists say the journey is to connect again with your original face. And we as religious scientists would say that it's about getting to know God as us. Isn't that really what our original face is? Isn't that original face that part of us that is God expressing itself? So the hero's journey is a path that allows you to become more of who you really are, to let God live through you as a unique expression, as the unique expression that only you can be. I know that this very special book has allowed me to see this in a whole new way, to lighten up a bit and to not be so hard on myself when I forget. Like me, your journey may take you across time and space. Parts of it may last minutes, hours, days, months, or even years. You may or may not have to physically leave home to travel, because as we've seen, everything meaningful happens on the inside. The journey home is about making all of life a spiritual practice. It's about allowing everything to bring us back to that place within, that place of connection, that place of oneness, our true home. It's about remembering that what Ernest Holmes says in the book Ideas of Power, he says, we believe that heaven is now, God is now, and there will never be a day in eternity better than the day in which you and I are living now. My friends, this has been a wonderful experience, and I'm a bit sad that it's ending, but at the same time, I look forward to many new wonderful adventures together. Thank you for letting me share this with you this summer.
I am so delighted that Reverend Catherine so succinctly described finding home for us. I just love that she reminded us of the three people on their way to the top of the mountain. So how do you find your home? How might you discover it? Reverend Larry would say, remember to love and allow yourself to be loved. And Reverend Catherine reminds us, each of us travels our own road, filled with twists and turns. First getting lost and feeling separate, followed by initiation with challenges, and finally, the homecoming, the return to truth. And I'd like to add a few specifics around what I've been saying today that might help you find your home, such as embrace vulnerability. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and open with others. Share your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, even if they may be difficult to talk about. By being vulnerable, we can form deeper connections and gain a greater sense of empathy and understanding, and a greater sense of connection. And that greater sense of connection allows us to create a sense of belonging, to take the time to reach out to friends, family, and even strangers, to listen to their stories and show them that you care. Forming deep connections with others can provide a sense of belonging and comfort that can help us through any difficult times we might be experiencing. And then the fox would tell us, connect with nature. Take a walk or watch a video on nature or practice mindfulness by being fully present in each moment. Pay attention to your surroundings, to your thoughts, to your emotions without judgment. By being in the present moment, you can savor the good times and better navigate the difficult ones. Also, explore your hopes, your dreams, your fears. Visualize yourself achieving your goals and living your ideal life. And imagine the steps you need to take to get there as you visualize yourself taking those steps. On the journey, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. You may have a long way to go, but look how far you've come. Each step you take towards personal growth is a step in the right direction, and each accomplishment is worth celebrating. And be kind and compassionate to yourself and others. Show yourself and others compassion and kindness, and be gentle with yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed or sad. And when interacting with others, imagine how you would treat a dear friend going through some difficult time, and apply that same compassion to yourself. I know that embarking on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth can be daunting and challenging at times. However, I want to encourage you to keep going, to keep exploring and learning about yourself, to keep going into that best version of you. Remind yourself what keeps you going. Remember, personal growth is a lifetime journey. There'll be ups and downs along the way. You'll face obstacles and setbacks, but they're all opportunities for growth and for learning. Embrace them. Use them to propel yourself forward. And as the horse says, don't forget and don't be afraid to ask for help and support when you need it. Seek out people who will encourage and uplift you and help you navigate the challenges that come with personal growth. Find your own mole, fox, and horse characters and allow them to help you. And above all, remember that personal growth and finding your home takes time and effort, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. One of those friends you have, like the horse with the boy, has got you when you fall. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to a dear friend. You've already taken the first step on this journey, and that's something to be proud of. Keep going, keep growing, and never give up on yourself. I believe in you, and I know that you have the strength and resilience to accomplish anything you set your mind to doing and being. And if you need something to keep you going, remember these words of Chris Michaels from Your Soul's Assignment. In time, we all find our way home because the Creator placed a homing device within each of us. Our intense desire for love is that homing device, and it will always lead us directly back to the one and only source of unconditional love. So as we reflect on the beautiful lessons from the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse, let's remember that home is a fluid concept, ever evolving and deeply personal. It can be a physical place, a state of mind, or the embrace of loved ones. Ultimately, it's about finding the comfort and authenticity that allow us to flourish and grow.
Well, this is warm.
And very kind.
And look at the stars.
So, you know all about me?
Yes.
And you still love me?
We love you all the more.
That's why we're here, isn't it?
For cake.
To love and be loved.
May you find your own sense of home, just as the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse found it in the love they had for each other and in the wisdom that they gathered along their journey. And so, in summary, how might you find your home? Home is where the heart is. Our true home transcends brick and mortar. So explore. Where can you be your true self? Home is where we feel a sense of belonging. Love doesn't need to be extraordinary. Home is where we can explore our hopes and our dreams and our fear. It's a haven filled with love and compassion. And remember, finding home might be a lifelong journey. So embrace what keeps you going through the forgetting, the initiation, and the homecoming. When you're home, you feel comfort and authenticity to flourish and grow. So here's your affirmation for the week. How is it I so easily and willingly make the choice today to know home can be a physical place, a state of mind, or the embrace of loved ones, and to know that home is about finding the comfort and authenticity that allow me to flourish and grow. And your challenge for the week is to pause each day for 5 minutes and remember the boy's words. Almost everything happens on the inside. So notice where you feel comforted, where you can flourish, and where you have a purpose. And check in at night to see what you discovered about yourself that day. Just notice if you're feeling at home. Let's pray. We take a deep, nourishing breath. And we just know that that place that resonates within us where we feel safe and comforted and happy and joyous and at ease is our true home. We know that all that the divine is right where we are, and that home is just waiting for us to truly find it in all aspects of our lives. So what I know is that each of us is moving through this journey to find home with ease and grace and the comfort of our friends. That we are going through that initiation, which sometimes has setbacks and challenges, and we are finding our homecoming of the truth. That we know that the essence of home is to love and to be loved. So it's with great gratitude that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action, knowing the truth that right where we are, God is. And God has already said yes. So there's nothing we need do to effort to make it happen. All we need to is to accept that we are loved and loving. So I say amen, and let's affirm it together. And so it is. I want to thank everyone who continues to send in their donations. We're in the process of starting to plan our harvest dinner. And so it's helpful to have some money to rent a place or to create the atmosphere that we want to have. So thank you again. Enjoy our offertory song.